Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Triple H has reacted to Jacob Fatu winning the WWE United States Championship at WrestleMania 41. He sent a message to the Samoan Werewolf after posing with him backstage moments after his victory over LA Knight. Heading into WrestleMania 41, Fatu became the #1 contender by defeating his arch-rival Braun Strowman in a last-man-standing match. He and Knight have crossed paths on multiple occasions, including tag team matches. On X/Twitter, Triple H shared backstage photos with Fatu after he won the United States Championship and called him a destroyer. At Jacob Fatu _WWE Destroyer and new United States Champion at #WrestleMania, Triple H wrote. Jacob Fatu debuted in mid-2024, joining the Bloodline as the enforcer for Solo Sikoa. He also won the WWE Tag Team Championship with Tama Tonga but was forced to hand his title over to Tonga Loa. Things will be quite different this time around, as Fatu has broken out from the shadows of Sikoa. The former tribal chief also accompanied his family member during his entrance, but wasn't at ringside for the title match. It remains to be seen who steps up as Fatu's first challenger or if he continues his feud with Knight. WrestleMania 41. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia was electric. The sky crackled with energy, the crowd erupting into a frenzy as Jacob Fatu stood in the middle of the ring, United States Championship hoisted high above his head. Sweat glistened off his tribal tattoos, and his wild hair framed a face overcome with emotion. Just moments before, he had defeated Logan Paul and LA Knight in a triple threat match that had every fan on the edge of their seat. And backstage, watching from the gorilla position, was none other than Triple H, Paul the Game Levesque, his expression unreadable. The moment was historic. Fatu had only made his main roster debut 3 months earlier, shocking the world by aligning himself with a splintered bloodline led by Solo Sikoa. Many believed Fatu would be a silent enforcer, a monster to do Solo's bidding. But Triple H saw something else. He saw a generational talent. A throwback to the ruthless aggression era with the explosiveness of modern-day powerhouses. And now, just weeks after dominating every opponent in his path, Jacob Fatu had gold around his waist. Triple H stood in silence, arms folded tightly across his chest. He wasn't smiling, but he wasn't frowning either. WWE officials around him clapped, some still whispering about how well the match had gone. But Triple H was in deep thought. His mind raced not just with what had happened, but with what could come next. He's not just a monster, he muttered to himself, almost inaudibly. He's a moment maker. Back in the ring, Fatu knelt and kissed the U.S. title before pounding his chest and shouting a phrase in Samoan. The camera zoomed in. The commentators scrambled to translate it, but backstage, Triple H understood. For the ancestors. For the island. The creative team swarmed around Triple H, eager to hear his thoughts. But before they could say anything, he raised a finger. Let him soak this in, he said. This moment? You don't script this. You feel it. A production assistant rushed over. Paul, we need your go-ahead on the post-match graphic. Triple H waved it off for a beat. Put it out. New United States Champion, Jacob Fatu. Let the world see it. Then he turned to Shawn Michaels, who had been watching alongside him. You see the way he moved in that final stretch? The way he sold that Logan dive just to pop up and hit that pop-up Samoan drop on Knight like it was nothing? Shawn chuckled. He's got Umaga in his blood, man. And a little bit of Rikishi's showmanship. It's scary. Triple H nodded. He's the bridge, Shawn. Between Roman's reign and whatever Solo is building now. Fatu might be the one who defines the next era. He wasn't wrong. Fatu had brought a rawness back to WWE that reminded fans of the Attitude Era's unpredictability. There was a violence in his movement, a charisma in his chaos. Unlike other rising stars who were polished, Fatu was rough, primal, and fans loved him for it. But Triple H also knew that great power needed careful guidance. He pulled his phone from his pocket, tapped out a message quickly, and sent it to Fatu's personal number. Tonight, you earn this. But remember, winning it is easy. Carrying it with pride, and leading with it? That's what makes a legacy. Come see me after the press. He slipped the phone back into his coat and turned to a nearby writer. We need to start outlining his next feud. I want a story that tests him, not just physically, but emotionally. Someone who makes him doubt himself. Someone who forces him to grow. The writer raised an eyebrow. You thinking Orton? Triple H smirked. Randy's a master psychologist. But I was actually thinking about Sami. The room went quiet. Sami Zayn? Someone asked. You want Jacob Fatu to feud with Sami Zayn? Triple H nodded. Exactly. Imagine the promos. Sami trying to connect with him, trying to remind him that he doesn't have to follow in Solo's footsteps. Sami trying to save him. Meanwhile, Fatu's torn between Solo's violent vision and his own destiny. Shawn clapped his hands together. That's layered. That's art. Triple H looked back at the monitor as the camera cut to Fatu walking up the ramp. The crowd roared, chanting Fatu. Fatu. As he turned around one last time and raised the title high above his head again. Confetti hadn't even started falling yet, it didn't need to. The image was already iconic. As the curtain to Gorilla pulled back, Jacob Fatu entered, still catching his breath. The room exploded in applause. He was swarmed by agents, trainers, fellow superstars, but his eyes searched for one man. Triple H stepped forward. For a beat, the two stared at each other. Then, without a word, Triple H extended his hand. Fatu looked down at it, then shook his head. Instead, he wrapped his arms around Triple H in a bear hug. "You believed in me, Oos," he whispered. Triple H smiled finally, patting him on the back. "You made them believe in you," he replied. "And now the real work begins." Jacob Fatu pulled back and nodded solemnly. "I'm ready." Triple H's eyes narrowed, the gears already turning for SummerSlam and beyond. "I know you are," he said. "Let's show the world what a real champion looks like." As the noise of the arena pulsed from behind the curtain, one thing was clear, Jacob Fatu hadn't just won the United States Championship. He'd won Triple H's trust. And that might prove even more powerful.